What's up, YouTube? Jeff, your Style O.G. And on today's video, we're going to discuss how you can be confident without being cocky. If you're new to the channel, we release a new video every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern, discussing various men's lifestyle topics such as style, grooming, and dating. I invite you to subscribe, tap the notification bell, and join us. And to my returning friends like Mike P, salute. Now, as men, we often hear you should be confident, project confidence. Women love confidence. But on the same hand, we're told, don't be cocky, don't be arrogant. What gives? You see, the thing is, confident guys and arrogant guys sometimes share similar traits, but you have to walk that fine line to get it right. And that's what I want to help you with on today's video. On today's video, I'm going to share with you some of the differences between confident and cocky and how you can make sure you land on the right side. So without any further delay, let's hop right into it. Now, one of the best ways to make sure you're projecting confidence and not cockiness is to do a self-analysis and be aware of your strengths and your weaknesses. You see, a guy that's truly confident makes sure that the traits he so firmly believes he actually has them. He makes sure the things he's so proud of actually exist. And on top of that, and maybe just as importantly, a confident guy acknowledges and works on his weaknesses. One of the things a lot of cocky or arrogant guys do that's a big mistake, they try to project perfection. When you present yourself as perfect, it turns other people off. It actually makes them uncomfortable. A truly confident guy isn't worried about showing some weaknesses. A truly confident guy has no problem showing vulnerability from time to time. That's why it's so important to be self-aware. Know your strengths, lean on them, but don't exaggerate them. But just as importantly, a confident, non-arrogant guy acknowledges and works on his weaknesses. Speaking of knowing both your strengths and your weaknesses leads me to my next tip. A truly confident guy is always open to new ideas and different perspectives. You see, a truly confident man knows he doesn't know everything. An arrogant or cocky guy is often a Mr. Know-It-All. A truly confident guy is open to the possibility he actually might be wrong. And just as importantly, he's open to other people's perspectives. He knows other people's point of view may help him look at things differently and increase his knowledge base. A truly confident guy is so secure in what he knows and doesn't know, he has no problem taking in new information and different perspectives. So if you want to be confident but not cocky, be open to new information, don't be Mr. Know-It-All. Another difference between a confident guy and a cocky guy, a confident guy knows he doesn't have to diminish other people's value to elevate himself. You see, a cocky or arrogant guy often believes that life is a zero-sum game. For him to win, everybody else has to lose. Whereas a confident guy, he wants to win, but he cheers on and congratulates other people's successes. You see, a truly confident guy knows there's enough for everybody out there. He doesn't have to step on other people to get to the top. In fact, in times when the confident guy isn't winning, he looks at other people's success as inspiration, not competition. A truly confident guy has no problem sharing the shine and the spotlight with other people. An arrogant guy, not so much. Remember, a truly confident guy knows he can win while others win as well. A cocky or arrogant guy thinks life is a zero-sum game. He has to win at everybody else's expense. Another surefire way to make sure you're falling on the confident side of the ledger, are you someone who takes accountability? You see, a confident guy has no problem admitting from time to time, I messed up. Your arrogant guy, on the other hand, everything is always somebody else's fault. I mean, the cocky guy thinks he's perfect. Of course, he never makes a mistake. However, you want to be the confident guy who can say, you know what, my bad. You see, the confident guy knows I'm not perfect, and when I mess up, I can learn from my mistake. I'll actually elevate and have more reasons to be confident. On the other hand, the arrogant guy who doesn't acknowledge mistakes can never grow from them. He'll remain stagnant. You see, the confident guy knows acknowledging when he's wrong, and hey, even apologizing from time to time doesn't diminish his value. It actually makes you look more confident when you can take accountability. Trying to be perfect on the other time and making everything everybody else's fault, that's just cocky. Which leads very nicely into my next point. A confident guy, when he has conflict or is standing up for himself, is looking for understanding, not needing to always be right. You see, the confident guy, when he's having a conflict, wants to resolve it. He wants to come to an understanding. Because in my opinion, if you're in conflict, you're probably having it with someone who means something to you. So obviously their point of view should mean something to you as well. Confident guy will stand firmly on his square, but when he's going back and forth, he'll listen to understand, not to jump in and reply. Whereas your cocky guy, on the other hand, really isn't interested in hearing the other person's point of view. He just wants to be seen as right. That's cocky. If you're going to take the energy to stand up for yourself and engage in a conflict, do both people a favor. Actually listen and hear the other person out. Because your main goal in a conflict is to come to understanding and a possible resolution, not to feel like you're right. Now, another difference between a confident guy and a cocky guy, a confident guy seems cool but approachable. The cocky guy might come off as cool, but he comes off as aloof. You see, it's okay to be the strong, silent type when you're a confident guy, but you still want to appear welcoming and approachable. How can you do that? For one, have open body language. When you're in a room, don't cross your arms. Also, try to remember to keep your head up and make eye contact. Also, orient your body towards a person you're talking to. A couple other things you want to do to be confident but approachable. When you're in a room, don't always look around the room. Pay attention to who you're talking to. And for God's sake, don't be constantly checking your phone. The cocky, arrogant guy, yes, he's cool, calm, and collected, but he's aloof. He pushes people away. Be confident but approachable at the same time. Mr. Cool, it's okay to smile from time to time. You see, one of the reasons why you want to be confident is you want to have the ability to draw people in. You can't do that if you're not approachable. Now, one of the characteristics most people easily recognize in a cocky or arrogant guy, they're always talking, bragging, and especially talking about themselves. That's why one of the best ways to make sure you're projecting confidence is to only speak with a purpose. Here's what I mean. The confident guy only speaks when he truly has something to say. The arrogant guy, on the other hand, sometimes just talks because he loves the sound of his own voice. And the more you keep talking, especially about yourself, you run the risk of appearing braggadocious. The confident guy, on the other hand, only speaks when he has something to say, and he also makes sure he talks about things he has a strong base of knowledge in. If he doesn't have a firm grip on the topic being discussed, he won't feel the need to add his 2 cents. If he doesn't know, he just doesn't know. He'll start listening more. You see, the truly confident guy follows one of my favorite cliches. You have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Listen twice as much as you talk. You see, the truly confident guy does speak, but only with a purpose. Now, don't let that last tip fool you into thinking there won't be occasions where you actually do need to talk about yourself. But the thing you want to do to make sure you're being a confident but not cocky guy is to talk about yourself without bragging. And that can be a difficult tightrope to walk, I acknowledge that. But one of the best ways to do that is to make sure when you do discuss one of your strengths, try to tell it in a story or narrative form. Here's why. People are drawn in by stories. Yes, it's good to talk about a strength you have now, but it's better to share how you got to be the person you are. A great way to talk about your strengths is to use perspective and gratitude. Talk about how happy you are for the journey that got you to be the strong guy and confident guy you are. And a great thing to do is to highlight the lessons you learned to get to the outcome you got. Other people can also learn from those lessons. It draws them in. Instead of talking about how great a guy you are, talk about how you develop those great traits. When it's time to self-promote, just don't talk about how great you are. Draw people in with a story. Now, as men, we're often told you should be confident, but make sure you're not cocky. The problem is those lines are easily blurred. But I believe if you pay attention to the tips we discussed in today's video, you'll be well on your way to projecting confidence, not cockiness. As always, I'd love to have your input. Let the Style O.G family know in the comment section if you have some tips that'll help them be confident and not arrogant.